Hi guys and welcome to Hunts and Bunks. I hope you're all well. As you can probably tell by my voice, I'm ill. I've got hand, foot and mouth, so it's not nice. Sore throat, so bear with me in this video. But today I wanted to discuss something that is sort of been on my mind for a while. And it's the Premier League and the lack of sort of variety within the teams. And why Everton under Dyche might be the tonic and the actual thing that saves the league. Because if you look at the game style of teams across the league, they all are about attacking football. I'll show you now in better sort of mannerisms. The lack of variety sort of stretches all the way down to the bottom of the league, to Bournemouth, where they're expected to attack a bit. West Ham sort of play the same stodged way where they try and attack. But there are no sort of traditional Stoke side or Burnley side, which is a shame really. Back in the day, like in the old days of the Premier League, sort of 2015s, you'd have 3 or 4 teams that would sit in: the West Brom, Burnley, Stoke. Well, not Stoke for a while, but you know what I'm trying to say. And that lack of variation has made it so these points tallies of 54 points after 23 games are apparent. Back in the olden days sort of thing, before Pep came and influenced the game and everyone decided to play a high press and a gegenpress and try and score and outscore the opposition, when teams were more happy to be negative, to be restrictive in their play style, these points tallies didn't even happen. Even for United in the heyday, you never really saw 100 points. And the reason for that, in my opinion at least, was teams were more happy to sit back and just defend. And that made it harder for the top teams to gain points, because if you're doing that week in, week out, playing against teams that are tough, that will put a foot in, that will batter it clear, play 4-4-2 with 2 banks of 4, then you're naturally not going to get as many points against these teams. They will stop you, say, 3 out of 10 times, which over the course of the season equates to a lot. Now, nowadays, you've got teams like Fulham and Brighton, who are minnows sort of in the Big Six, doing really well, overperforming. Shouldn't really be in the position they're in, but they are. And they are very good as a team. For example, Brighton. We all know how attacking they play. You only have to watch Brighton to see how attacking they are as a squad, as a team under De Zerbi. But that was the same under Graham Potter, and they've done really well with that sort of mentality, especially with this guy, Matoma. He is phenomenal. Sensational player, really, when you look at it overall. How many goals has he got now? 5 in the league, with 1 assist. But he has been pretty sensational. And I think that's fair to say. But, if we go back to the league. But there are more teams like that. And even Nottingham Forest are trying to attack. Crystal Palace, under Vieira, of sort of nothingness, but they're trying to attack. The only teams that really are built on defence are Aston Villa under Unai Emery, who is naturally a pragmatic manager. Spurs under Conte, although they just haven't been very good as of late in their play style, I mean. And then maybe you could say West Ham, and now Wolves and Everton. But Lopetegui's changing that to be fair. Everton are coming into the more defensive mindset now that Sean Dyche has taken the helm. But my point being with this is football's changed. There's less attacking teams, naturally. There's less defensive teams, naturally, because of the new outlook. And it has all stemmed, if we're being honest, from Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. That's where all of it is stemmed from. Everyone wants to play this attractive style of play. It's no longer in fashion to play defensively. And that has obviously led to Man City being able to accumulate as many points as they have. Because if you try and out Man City, you're just going to lose. That's just what's going to happen. They are too good consistently for you to try and play offensive football against them. They will counter-attack you, they will break you down. If Man City played 10 years ago, this Man City side, would they accumulate as many points as they have done in the last 3 years? I would argue probably not, but football's changed, and that's why it was a shame when Burnley went down, because they were the last sort of pillar of that defensive 4-4-2, get it out first. And I'd like to see a few more teams go back to the roots of that. And I think shoots of that are forming with Villa. It will happen at Everton under Dyche, I have no doubt. West Ham need to do that because they are absolutely abysmal at the moment. They need to defend first. But I'd like to see some teams just defend first. A few more teams adopt that approach. Wolves would be good at that. I don't know why they got rid of Cody to Everton for the time being, but they'd be able to do that if Cody comes back. Forest, I suppose, could do it. I'm looking at Villa. Leicester, maybe not. They have too good a squad. Bournemouth, but they don't really have the squad to do it. But yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? Newcastle are one who've been defensive first all season, but they've been brilliant all season. Yes, they've hit a bit of a rut recently. Which is weird because Eddie Howe isn't traditionally a defensive manager. But you see what I mean? You can have success through having a good defence. And I think people forget that. And this is just what I wanted to say. I wanted to put it out there. I want, hopefully, a few teams to adopt the Newcastle approach, to be a bit more defensive, a bit more solid, get their heads on it, get it out, and work that way. Because football is in danger of becoming stale. If it's a case of, say, Arsenal don't want to be playing against an attacking team every week or a counter-attacking team every week. You want different sort of philosophies, different mindsets throughout the league. Because if everyone tries to attack, it's just going to get boring. And that's just the truth of it. And I think there has been a bit of that, a bit of the sameness in the last sort of 2-3 years across football. To the point where now, for example, the top two teams, Arsenal and City, both use possession styles, both have inverted wing backs who like to drop into midfield. They both play a 4-3-3 to an extent. Their attacking midfielder, who's the creator in Ødegaard or De Bruyne, both play off the right-hand side of that midfield. And it's very samey. There needs to be variety. Back in the day with with Arsenal versus Man United, for example, Wenger versus Sir Alex, the styles, the philosophies, the teams were completely different. Like, absolutely different. To an extent where it was Manchester United played hardball, they'd get it out, they were quite direct, they were wing play, but they were good at what they were doing. Whereas Arsenal played the beautiful stuff. Very physical team, but they played the passing stuff, the elegant stuff. They were more technically gifted. That being said, United had great lethal players who were amazing at being direct. You think Eric Cantona, they played with that aggression. Those two were different, completely different ideologies in their play styles, but they were at the top of their game. Now, to an extent, the top two in the league are very similar, and that's a bit boring. Even Liverpool, when they were challenging Man City, yes, they didn't have the midfield technical ability emphasis, but they still relied heavily on their wing play. Gone are the days, really, other than Erling Haaland recently, of a big striker who will knock it about and score loads of goals. Now the goals come from elsewhere. And that is just what I wanted to bring. Do you think football has become boring? Let me know in the comments below what you believe. Do you think football's become boring? Please be sure to subscribe to the channel, obviously, for more debate like this. But is every team becoming too similar? Is that something that you've been thinking for a while, like I have? Because it's just something I wanted to bring across. I just think it's in danger of becoming stale, and in parts it has become stale for a while. Anyway, again, sorry, my throat is absolutely killing. I didn't want to make too long a video, but I did want to get something to you on the Hunts and Punks channel. I hope you are enjoying mine and Alex's content. I'm sure Alex will come to you with a video during the week at some point. I believe he might be doing a preview for the games of game week, 25 for Fantasy Prem. I know he loves his Fantasy Prem. I do too, but I won't be able to make one later in the week. Anyway, hope you are enjoying it. Thank you for watching again. I'll see you later. Goodbye.